You doing? This is Love Marlene 411, and welcome to this episode of From My Heart to Yours.
This song is for the loved ones, the ones who stand so true. May the windows of the heavens open wide and shine on you. May you be blessed, may you be lifted. Every dead and burden paid. May you walk in every promise that the Spirit ever made. You are highly favored, kept in mercy by the hand of God above, wrapped forever in His everlasting love. Highly favored, yeah, yeah. You're blessed in the city, blessed in the city, blessed in.
Welcome into this week's episode of From My Heart to Yours, and I'm going to get right into it. Today we're talking about you were let down. Time to live for yourself. I feel this is a very on time message for so many of the loved ones when someone has let you down. And what does it mean when people let you down? It means you were expecting to have a different outcome. You were expecting to have their trust. You were expecting to have their heart. You were expecting for people to support you. You were expecting to be treated with kindness and respect and love. And when you don't, this is where the pain comes in. This is where the hurt comes in. This is where people just drop you. Have you ever been dropped by people in your life? A relative, an ex, a friend, an alleged friend? See, it's time for us to let go of those things. You know, on this channel, I focus on a healing journey. And it's time for a healing journey to take place in our life. I don't want you to be miserable. I spent so many years in my life miserable, unhappy about the things that had happened to me and the things that people had said and done to me. Yes, they let you down. But guess what? In that being let down, you have to learn some lessons. You have to learn who you are. You have to learn what you're worth. And you have to learn what you deserve. So, yes, they let you down. And let's talk about that for a little bit. What are some of the ways that people let you down? People let you down when they spread rumors, when they lie on you. In a romantic relationship, they cheat on you. They don't appreciate you. There's no gratitude. With relatives, having the expectation of that you have to do things for them, and there's no appreciation. There's no thankfulness. It's all about you must, you have to. And that's the hurtful part. It can be a very hurtful part in a relationship to have people who always have the expectation. Hi, Vicky. How are you doing? Welcome. There's so many people that have that expectation that you have to be there for them. You have to support them. You have to do all of these things for other people. But if you always are expecting for people expect for you to help them, when are you ever going to help yourself? When are you going to ever show up for yourself? So let's talk about this. Let's get into this week's episode of From My Heart to Yours. So they let you down. Who are they? Can you think about those people? Was it your parents? Was it a friend? Was it a business sort of deal? Was it involving money? Was it matters of the heart? Whatever way it was, it's hurtful. It's hurtful when somebody that you loved, when somebody that you cared about didn't show up for you, didn't love you the way that you deserve to be loved. It's not easy. It's not easy. And that's not one of those things that, like, people say, get over it. Hi, Miss Betty. How are you doing? It's not one of those things that you just get over. You don't get over that sort of pain. You don't get over that sort of hurt when you've been let down, when you've been backstabbed, when you've been used and abused and disrespected, especially if you've been abused. They abused your money. They abused your heart. They took advantage of you, somebody that you trusted, and they let you down. They dropped the ball with you. You were nothing but good to them. You were nothing but kind to them. You were nothing but supportive. You were nothing but encouraging. You were there for them when they had nothing. And then when their life starts to improve, they forget all about you. They forget about you. They move on and get other friends. They move on, get somebody else to be in a romantic relationship with. They move on and get somebody else to do a business deal with you. And you're left with the broken pieces. See, and what that does is when people backstab you and use you and take advantage of you and do all of these things, it gives us trust issues, right? Do you have some trust issues? I know that it's very hard for me to be able to trust people. It's very hard. It's very hard for me to be able to trust people because people are just hard to deal with in general. Being human beings, so many individuals are just rude, and it's a few people that try to disrupt the flow here. But I'm not going to let them, because this is a very important message to all of you who have broken hearts. Someone has broken your heart. Someone has taken advantage of you. Someone has been disrespectful to you. How do you move on from that? It's easier said than done. It's easy for me to say, it's time to move on with your life. It's easy for me to say, but I haven't been through what you've been through. I haven't been through the hills and the valleys. I haven't seen the way that they have treated you, the way that they have disrespected you, how they have been unkind, left you out, took advantage of you, took your money, took your time, and it took so many years. And especially the hard part is when it was somebody that you trusted in a romantic relationship. It could be a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It could be a husband or a wife. It could be an ex. But they did something that broke you to pieces. Now I know all about that. And usually I don't get into talking about too much of my personal life, but I'm going to share a little bit about me personally. My ex broke my heart. Shattered me to pieces. See, he came into my life when I was a very vulnerable person, very vulnerable, very gullible. I just didn't know. You could say I was I was ignorant. I never thought that somebody would come into your life and use you. Because that's not the person that I am. I'm an honest, real person and kind. But when you have people who take advantage of people, they manipulate them. They say things like they love you, but really is they love to use you. They love to get your money. They love to take your time. They love to use you for your connections, for your talents. Hmm. In families, it's It's nothing as terrible as having, if you have parents or siblings, cousins, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, just people who just ripped your heart out, talk about you behind your back, lived with you, used you for so many other reasons, that I'm not going to talk about on here, but they use you. There's so much people that they love to use people. Yeah, they do. And I can say for me, there's there he broke my heart. Whew. And I'm trying my best not to cry, but I just got to be honest with you guys because this is a safe space. And I feel like I need to share my testimony. I need to share my story for somebody else that is on the other side. If you see all those red flags going off, ladies and gentlemen, if they lie to you, been lying to you, talking about what they're going to do, what they're about to do, and they never do it. They're never supportive of your hopes and your dreams, but they want you to support and back theirs. They're not good listeners. They're not good communicators. They're just selfish. But when you don't know better, what happens? You get used. You get taken advantage of. You get disrespected, and it's not right. But the thing about it is that those individuals, they let us down. They break our hearts. They take advantage of us. They talk about us behind our back. They think that we're worthless. They think that we need them when actually it's the other way around. We don't need them. They need us. They needed your money. They needed a place to live. They needed a lot of things from you, and they were only there for those reasons. But in hindsight, we just didn't know that. Hey, always, how are you doing? But in hindsight, we didn't know that. And I know in hindsight, I didn't know it. I didn't know that anybody could ever lie to somebody like that, take advantage of somebody like that, play games with your heart. Hey, has any of my loved ones here, have you ever been cheated on? Mm. Have you ever been lied to? Everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie. Have you ever been in a relationship with somebody who is a narcissist? I have. It's one of the most abusive relationships. Have you ever had relatives that everything that you do is never right? They're always talking about you, but yet they depend on you. It's very interesting the games that people play. Thank you so much, always. I really appreciate the gifts. And thank you earlier for the 2 channel members that you gifted. I really appreciate it. See, one thing that I want to talk to you guys about is deliverance. It's time for us to be delivered. This channel, I talk about trauma healing and not just being in the space of saying, this person hurt me. This person disappointed me. This person abused me. They took advantage of me emotionally, financially, sexually, in every way. People can take advantage of you and they let you down. They break your trust. You trusted them. You trusted them with your heart. You trusted them with your time. You trusted them with your money. You trusted them for everything. And what do? They turn their back on you. They took advantage of you. They take your name in the streets because now they found a new supply, a new person that they can use and abuse, and then they dropped you like you never did anything for them. Mm-hmm. See, they let you down, but you didn't know at the time that when people leave your life, that's one of the best things that can ever happen to you. Them leaving gives you an opportunity to heal. It gives you the opportunity that you didn't even know how strong you were. You didn't even know what you were capable of doing. And now that they're gone, now you can really use your mind. Now you can really get into getting out there and having fun again. But after the pain, after the sadness, after the hurt, after the disappointments, after all of it, you know, we have to move on. Hi Antonio, how are you doing? Welcome in. After all of the disappointments, after all of the disrespect, after all of it, it's time for us to shift our life. But not before we say it out loud. And I want this to be a healing space for everyone who is here. I forgive those who hurt me. I forgive those that are immature. I forgive those that are disrespectful. I forgive the people who cheated on me. I forgive the people that didn't appreciate my friendship. You got to forgive them. Not for them, for you. You're never going to be happy in your life until you forgive them. And I know what you're thinking, Marlene, how can you forgive somebody? How can you forgive them after all they've done? After all the pain they've caused, after all of the hurtful things that they've said, after all the times they disappointed you, how can you forgive that? See, I can't give an answer to that because we're all different. It has to be in your time. It has to be when you're ready. It has to be when you want to let go. And in this space, we'll be here. I'll be here to support you all the way through it. Yeah. We're here to support one another. And I wish that there was more safe spaces for us to talk about pain and hurt, childhood trauma, terrible relationships, being in a terrible relationship where they never were kind to you or supported you. All you were was a notch on their belt. All you were is somebody to clean and cook up or to have their children or whatever the case may be for you. Fill in the spaces. But it's about us understanding and realizing that some people were never good to be in our lives. Hi, Pierre. How are you doing? I have suffered from many traumas because I have been through all sorts of things. It will take me years to recover. Yeah, and take your time, Pierre. This is a safe space. You know, this is not a place, I'm not judgmental of anybody here. And we talk about every and everything. This is a channel we talk about all forms of abuse and trauma. And anybody who is rude in the chat, you will immediately be blocked and reported. It's no space for that. I'm not here to play games. We're talking about real things today. When people are abusive, let's talk about verbal abuse. Yeah. Sometimes, I remember when I was growing up, people used to say, oh, you're just being sensitive. No, they're rude. And it chips away at your self esteem. It affects your mental health. I remember being a little kid and hearing for years how I was no good and I'll never amount to anything and you're foolish and you're stupid. That's not what you should be getting from people who are your parents or siblings or people who are supposed to be older than you and supportive. It's very hurtful. And they let you down because you have these expectations about what a loving relationships are supposed to be like with your parents or siblings or friends or whoever it is. And then moving forward, having friends. And I feel like some people these days don't even know what it's like to be a friend. They don't even know what it's like to be a friend. And you know why? Because they don't know how to be a friend to themselves. So many people don't know how to be a friend because they've never been a friend to themselves. All they are focused on is getting the things that they want. That's all they're focused on. It's about them getting what they want financially, getting what they want sexually, having a place to live, getting your money, finding out your personal business. And that brings a lot of hurt. It does. It brings a lot of hurt. It brings a lot of pain, a lot of disappointments. It brings anger. It brings trust issues. But here, we're safe to talk about it. Are there any of you out there that have had some trust issues? Some things that maybe your relatives have done to you? Maybe an ex, a friend, quote unquote, business partner, people on social media? It's a lot of ways that we can get hurt. We can be traumatized because you trusted them. You would have done anything for them. People who were your friend, you would have done anything for them. You loved them not just like a friend, they became your sister or your brother, or people that you loved in a romantic relationship. You loved them. You loved them with your whole heart. You were good to them. You were kind to them. And what did they do? Use you and abuse you. Ungrateful, disrespectful, yelled, talked bad about you, never supported you, no, zero compassion. Hmm. But now we're going to shift gears because we laid the groundwork, the foundation. Yeah, those are some of the ways that people let you down. But now here is where we start talking about the the empowerment, the growth mindset. Now it's time for us to live for ourselves. Now it's time for you to live for yourself. Now, like I shared a little bit earlier, my ex, I can't even talk about all of the pain that he caused me, all the trust issues that he's given me, the anxiety that he brought to my life. But I'm finally in the space where I'm not going to let what he did stop me from living my life. So if there's anybody out there that you've had some trust issues from what an ex has done to you, I want you to know you're not alone. I want you to know that you deserve better. But guess what? While you're out there being angry about what they did and what they said and the pain they caused you, you know what? They've moved on with their life. They could care less about what they did to you, even if they've given you fake apologies, tried to come back to you because, of course, the little skeezer that they were with, the little slut, the little tramp, the little whore, the whatever you want to call them that they're with. Of course, it didn't work out because they're not a quality person. They'll never get a person like you. Okay, they'll never. They messed up. They messed up when they lost you. He messed up when he lost me. Because you can't just go and find a person who's going to be loyal and kind and respectful. You're never going to find anybody like that. So it was their loss. And that's how we have to look at it. Don't look at it for what they've done. You have to look at it for what you've been protected. When things don't work out, it's a protection for you. No, no more hurt, no more pain. Let them go. And with whatever they've done, you got to let that go too. You have to stop being angry at them. You have to stop. And I'm saying this from my heart. You have to stop being angry at them. And I don't want to be. I want to be angry for the rest of my life. But what is it worth? You think they haven't moved on with their life? They're kikiing, they're laughing and having fun and doing all kinds of things. You're the miserable one. Ladies, gentlemen, be happy. It's time for us to turn a new page in our life. Yeah, they hurt you. Yeah, they disappointed you. They let you down. They played with your heart. They played with your feelings. They were not your friend. They lied to you, disrespected you, took your money, did all kinds of stuff. There's so much things that people can do when they let you down. There's so many reasons why we should have trust issues. But I want to shift that. Not from let's get out of trust issues and let's get into stepping into discernment. Hmm. Now this is a hard thing that yes, people have done wrong things to you. People have done wrong things to me. But also we also have to take accountability. Hmm. This is the hard part, loved ones. When people do things to us, we get into that mode of they did this to me. But really, what did we allow? Mhm. We allowed them to hurt us. We ignored all of those red flags. We ignored it. Thank you so much for the gift always. I really appreciate it. We ignored the red flags. We ignored it. We saw that they were no good, but we thought we were going to fix them. Hmm. See, I've got to be accountable for that. This is a hard pill to swallow. This is a hard topic for me to talk about. It's hard to swallow that pill and say, I saw that red flag. I knew they were no good. You knew they were broke when you met them. You knew they were lazy. You knew they were controlling. You knew they were a thief, a liar. You knew they didn't have money. You knew. It's not that we go into these things and we don't see who people are, but we go by the words that they say. And we think we can change them. You think you can change them. The only person that gets changed is us. Your heart gets broken. You get taken advantage of. And then they just move on with their life to the next victim, on to the next. And you're left with the pieces of your broken heart. But it's time for us to let go of that. It's time to us to turn the page and get into the season of getting out there and living. And I'll tell you how you do it. I'll tell you how I did it. You're going to have to take some time to actually unpack that. Get yourself some journals. Go right on. You don't have to get nothing expensive. Go into the dollar stores, whichever one you have. I'm not going to plug any of these dollar stores because they ain't sponsoring your girl. But go and get yourself a few notebooks and get a pen, pencil, and start writing down everything that you feel, because I know not everybody is a therapy person, you know, and I am an advocate for therapy, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. But you got to get the things that's in here, the things that you have been carrying around on your back, the shame that you feel, the sadness, the hurt. You have to start writing that out and put everything on the table. This is a judgment free zone. And if you're not ever real and honest with yourself, you'll never be able to move on. You'll never be able to be happy. You'll never have peace. Okay? Hi, Sirius. How are you doing? Yes, happy Wind Down Wednesday. I hope you're doing well. You're never going to be happy in your life. You'll never have peace until you let yourself be free of it. And that's one of the first things that I had to write in my journal. I'll tell you guys that. I took out a pen and paper and I wrote down in my journal, I give myself the permission to be free of whatever the pain is. Whatever the pain is, whatever the hurt, whatever the sadness, nothing is ever too heavy for you to let go. But you have to want to, loved ones. You have to want to free yourself. See, I remember when my therapist told me, Marlene, you're the one punishing yourself. Wow. Hi, Nancy. How are you doing? When I said to myself, I'm the one punishing myself, it's like, what? And we don't feel like we are. I didn't think I was punishing myself. You think you're punishing the other person, by being angry. See, I'm going to harbor resentment. That will fix them. I'm going to be mad. That will fix them. I'll give them the silent treatment. That will fix them. You're not helping. You're not hurting them. You're hurting yourself. Um, Hi. I'm just here to show some love. Thank you so much via some gifts. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys coming through. Nancy says, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Um, yeah, that's one of the things. Yes. That we have to say it's time to free yourself. So if you guys are following the advice that I said, get yourself a journal and start writing about how you feel. about how I trusted them. I gave them my time. I gave them my energy. I gave them my body. I gave them my friendship. I gave them my trust. I told them my secrets. Whatever it is that you have, okay? And you write that down. And then on the other side of the paper, now you start talking about the freedom that you want, okay? Write out all the things that they did, that they let you down, they disappointed you, they backstabbed you, they cheated on you, they wasted your time. Put all that on one side, and then on the other side of the paper and say, but now I will set myself free. This is when the shift will start happening in your life, guys. I'm telling you, it's a big shift when you write down what they did, but now write down, this is a new chapter in my life, and I'm going to free myself. Um, Hi, how are you doing? I don't know how to say your name. I apologize. Uh, Coel. How are you doing? Hey, Delvin. That's one of the things that you have to be in that space. Oh, it's Matthew. Oh, hi. How are you doing? Welcome. Um, I'm sorry that I'm not very good with saying the names on here, but I do appreciate every single one of you for being here. Thank you for your time. So, on the other side of the paper, you start writing down the 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 new mantras you're gonna have for your life. It's time for my freedom. It's time for my healing. I will let things go. They're not gonna have a power over my mind anymore. I want to be happy. In this new chapter, I will have peace. I'm gonna love myself. I will be my own best friend. And I'm telling you, the more, and every day you start writing down those same things until you believe it. I tell you, it's mind altering. It's a big shift in your life. People say, "Oh, that doesn't work." Oh, trust me, it works. The more you write it down, and then you say it out loud. Say, "I speak over my life." It's called positive self talk. I never believed it. I remember when my therapist suggested, I was like, "This is crap. This is stupid. This will never work." And she said, "Just try it." And I did. Every day I started saying to myself, "You're important. You deserve to be happy. You can let it go. Free yourself of whatever you thought." Okay? So I started writing down, this is a new chapter in my life. In this new chapter, I'm going to smile. I'm going to take better care of my health. I'm going to be aware. I'm going to pay attention to the discernment. And when something doesn't seem right, I'm not going to gloss over it. I'm going to say, is something not right? And if you don't trust somebody, then that's where it stops. See, we have to work on our awareness. We have to work on, just not being like, "Oh, it's okay. Oh, they'll get better." You got to get away from the lip service and get into the actions. How do they treat me? How do they make me feel? Do I feel seen and heard, or do I feel ignored and disrespected? See, those are the things that count. That is how the shift happens in our life. It's not about what was, but it's about what is. Giving yourself new narratives, new self talk, new affirmations for your life. See, I was never a person that I didn't grow up with affirming and speaking over my life, but you have to speak and declare over your own life. hmm you have to start saying, "Yeah, I am worthy. I am important. I'm a good friend. I'm loved. Good things are going to happen for me." And you start treating yourself better. You have to treat yourself better. And I'm telling you, everything will start to shift. So I stopped being angry at the whatever, the shoulda, woulda, couldas. I stopped putting myself down. And after I forgave them, I had to forgive myself. Yeah. Yes, Nancy, forgiveness is something that I have to practice on a daily basis. Some and just because you say you forgive them, It always is going to bubble up to the surface from time to time. Like something will come and I'll be and then this and this, and I'll be up there rambling and being all upset and in my feelings, and they should have did this and they did, and you go off in that tangent, right? you know. Um, Matthew says, Marlene, last year I was thinking about going to a psychologist. I don't know how to write, but they recommended taking meds, and I don't want to take any meds. You know what I would just say, trust the process, Matthew. If they feel that some meds will help you, follow the medical advice. And if it doesn't help you, you can always do something different. But trust the advice that others are giving you. I'm not a medical professional. I just speak from my heart. you know I'm just real and honest about my story and some things that I've been through in my life. My blood pressure is no longer high since I decided to stop stressing about things that I have no control over. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing when you stop trying to control, kind of trying to control the outcomes, trying to control people, trying to talk about, and they did this. You can't live in the past and expect to have a bright present or a bright future. You got to let go of what happened, and you got to focus on, all I can control is today. All I can do is be my best self. All I can do is make better decisions, make better choices, treat myself better. Okay? That's all we can do. And I'm so happy for you, Nancy. You prefer it to healing without meds? Well, trust the advice, Matthew, from your psychologist. Yes, and you can. Matthew, you can do it. Listen to the advice of your psychologist, psychiatrist. They wouldn't be saying things if they didn't think it was a good idea. Okay. Yes, Nancy. The only person that I can control is me. The only person that you can control is you. Don't worry about everything. Don't worry about the past, the shoulda, woulda, couldas, what they said, how they treated you. They weren't nice to you. You got to let those things. You got to let those things go. And I know I was very skeptical. I have to tell you guys that the first time I went to therapy, I was skeptical. I didn't believe anything that they said, because I was always raised that, oh, if you go to a therapist, you're crazy. And therapists don't know nothing. All they want to do is make you be something else. But what it is it's hard for us to accept that we need help. At least I know for me it was. It's hard for me to realize that I'm not perfect. And that's okay. We don't have to be perfect. All we have to do is be our best self. And the therapists and the psychologists and psychiatrists and counselors and life coaches like me, uh, they're here to help, not to hurt you. But it's up to us. All they can do is give you the advice, but it's up to you for you to receive it. And I'm not here to tell anybody what to do with their life. Your life is yours. I just talk about things from my heart. I share my story. And it wasn't until I forgave my ex, until I forgave some of my relatives, I forgave some people who were my former friends. I had to forgive them. And until I forgave them, I didn't have peace. I, my health wasn't good, because I was always so worried and stressed out and angry. I had so much anger issues. Well, follow the advice, Matthew, of your doctor, and seek their advice. Okay, just be patient and trust the process. Yes, Delvin, you got to forgive so you can move on, and that it's not easy. I have to tell you guys that even though I come before you guys, You know, now I'm in a different space than I was 2 or 3 years ago. But 2 or 3 years ago, I was so angry, angry at the world, mad, breaking up stuff, screaming and yelling, like my blood pressure was sky high. Ugh, because we're mad at the world because it's an injustice. They shouldn't have treated you that way. They shouldn't have manipulated you. They should have been so mean. But you gotta have your say. That's what I'm telling you. Get yourself a journal. Start writing about how you feel. Find yourself a support group. I always talk about that all the time. Join a support group for whatever it is that you have dealt with. No, I talk about all forms of abuse over here. All those who, if you've been essayed, if you've been verbally, emotionally, financially, if you've been abused in any way, you need to get support from people who have been through the same things you've been through. I'm in a grief support group and I go online every single week and I talk to people because while you can have people in your life that will, kind of say nice things to you and, are you okay? Are you having a good day? But it's nothing like when you go to a group and it's like you are around people who have all of the things that you think in your head, but you don't have enough, like, you don't have a safe space that you can say what you're thinking because other people will think you're crazy. Because I remember, I've said this many times on my other channel that I thought I was literally losing my mind when I lost my father. My father had prostate cancer, and he passed in 2016. 7 months later, my mom passed away. Then 3 months after that, my aunt passed away. Then another 6 months after that, my brother passed away. It was too much, too heavy, too quick from the people who were the closest to me. I felt like I lost my foundation. It was the hardest time in my life. And there's nothing that can prepare you for it. Nothing can prepare you for grief. Nothing can prepare you to be backstabbed. Nothing can prepare you for when people cheat on you or take money away from you, or when the people that you thought that you could trust talk about you behind your back. It's nothing that can prepare you and get you ready for that. It is what it is. It's kind of like takes you back. Like, I thought we were better or closer than that, but in all of it, we find out who people really are. It's something that we should be grateful. I know that it's a different concept. It sounds weird, but you should be grateful that people showed you who they really are. Now you can identify. You are never a person I could trust. You are never a person I could depend on. So now that you've learned, now you know how to move forward. Now you got to learn how to depend on yourself and stop putting yourself last, loved ones. I talk about that all the time. Let's stop putting ourselves last. Stop putting yourself on the back burner. Okay? Yeah. Make the first time teach you is the last time. Yeah. Yes, Delvin, that's a really big lesson. That's a very important point right there. Make the first time teach you is the last time. It's about breaking those cycles. Okay? When someone does something to you, now it's like, okay, I don't need to learn this again. For me, I don't need to learn, about telling my personal and private business. I don't need to learn that twice. I don't need to just trust the words. You got to trust the action. And you got to trust the energy, okay? It's about learning and growing and developing into being a better version of yourself. So, forgive yourself. I had to give my own self a hug. I had to say, be easy on yourself, you know? Stop beating up yourself, ladies. Stop beating up yourself, gentlemen. You're only human. They were the deceivers. They stole. They hurt. They broke. They manipulated. They were the users. But also we grew. You became empowered. You raised your vibration. See, now you're operating at a completely different frequency of awareness. Now you got your eyes and your ears open. Now you got your energy open. Okay. Okay, you can't play over here. See, you turn into a different person, and those are the things that you should be grateful for. Those are the things that I'm happy for. I'm happy that I learned and I grew and I learned to love myself. See, now it's time for you to live for yourself. Not just some people, they just go through life, but they never live. We're not doing that anymore. Don't let your past keep you stuck for the rest of your life. No, we're not staying stuck for the rest of your life. We're not warding off love. We're not warding off friendships. We're not warding off that those goals and the businesses and the things that you wanted to do with your life. No, we're not stopping it. Maybe you had to pause so for you to say, where did it go wrong? See, that's the awareness and the accountability part. I can only be accountable for me. You can only be accountable for you. And I want the best for my loved ones. That's why I allow myself to be vulnerable here, because the real, the truth, that can only do it can only grow you. It can only empower you. But most people, they don't face it. They say, "Oh no, I'm good." Or they always put all the blame. It was my ex, it was my siblings, it was the friend. But also, what did I allow? Do you also say to yourself, I saw those red flags and I ignored them? See, I'm mature enough. I'm wise enough now as a woman to say, I saw. I saw where it was going wrong and I ignored it. hmm and I forgive myself for that, because I'm human and I made mistakes. But guess what? I don't need to learn that lesson again. We're not repeating. We're not repeating toxic friendships and relationships. We're not repeating. See, it's about learning the lesson. The things that I saw, we're not ignoring them. You got your eyes, your ears, and your energy open, and you're like, this doesn't feel right. And you don't need to investigate any further. When something doesn't feel right, shut it down. Move away, back away. Okay? Don't try to figure it out, and don't blame yourself, because that was me for such a long time. Oh, I should have seen that. And why didn't I see it? And why didn't I see it? Some people are so good at being a manipulator. They're so good at being a control freak. They're so good at being a narcissist. They're so good at being an abuser. They're so good at playing with people's hearts. They're good at it. That's what they do. But you got to move on with your life. You got to let that go. You can't stay in that negative space. It's time for you to turn over a new page. So, loved ones, here's what I want you to start saying to yourself: I'm going to turn the page. I will turn the page. I'm going to let go of what was and step into what is. I want you to take a pen and paper and I want you to write that down. I will let go of what was and step into what is. Okay? Okay? Step into what is. Because if you do not allow yourself to be in this present moment, you're going to lose out on so much. It's time for us to stop losing out. It's time for us to stop being angry. It's time for us to have healthy bodies and travel and laugh and have fun and have an open heart. Yes, Nancy, a snake is a snake. And you know they're a snake. Okay? You know they're a manipulator. You know they're a liar. You know they're a thief. You know they're no good. You know they're not good for you. Okay? So it's time for us to learn the lesson, and it's time for us to give ourselves the permission to live again. So have you stopped living? I have to tell you guys that after so long, I never let myself live. All I did was I would go to work, I come home, I eat, I go to sleep, and repeat and repeat and repeat. There was no fun in my life. There was no joy. There was no going out there and being silly and having fun and laughing and doing the things that I like to do. And the same thing for you guys. Let's get out of that comfort zone. Let's get out of being angry. Let those things go. Let's be happy. They didn't deserve you. Now it's your time. It's your time, ladies. It's your time, gentlemen. It's your time, loved ones. It's time for us to be free. It's time for us to raise our vibration. It's time for us to have a season of peace and light and empowerment. Okay? And the change can only come in when you allow yourself to be. See, we can't be happy and be free until we give ourselves the permission to be. Trust me, I'll tell you that from experience. I didn't want to be free. I wanted to be angry. But it's a time, loved ones, when you have to say, I don't want to be angry anymore. I don't want what was to control my present. So you got to let those things go. You got to let those people go. You got to let whatever they said and did to don't let it have power over your life. Yes, Nancy, you have to let go of the past. You have to let go of what they said and what they did. First of all, it's not true. Loved one, it's not true. People tell you you're stupid and you're foolish and you're not this and you're. It's irrelevant. And you have to start saying that out of your mouth. It's not true. I'm wonderful. I'm amazing. I can do great things. And you got to start writing those things down and reading it. I put them on post-it notes when every time I wake up, I put it on the mirror, I put it in the bathroom, I put it on the fridge. I'm empowered. I'm intelligent. I can do great things. I'm going to laugh today. Today is going to be amazing because I choose it. It's all about choices. It's all about making the choice. Today, I choose to make today a great day. And the more that you do that, it's going to become a new part of your life. Instead of before, maybe you always chose misery and complaining and anger. But when you start making that shift, when you start getting into alignment, let me tell you, when you start to align yourself, it's just like when you align your spine, like if you go to the chiropractor, they get you settled and fixed. Now you're straight. I want for you to be walking a straight path to whatever it is that you want. See, we're all different and we want different things. I want you to be happy. I want you to go for what you want to go for. But you have to say to yourself, I'm ready. I'm open. I want peace. I want joy. I don't want to try to fix that anymore. Just make peace with it. It was what it was, and now I'm turning the page and I am in control of my life. I am in control of my life. I'm in control of my peace. I'm in control of my joy. I'm in control of healing. See, and that's what I talk about all the time on this channel. It's a journey of healing. It's giving yourself the permission, and I have to say it out loud. I give myself the permission to heal. I give myself the permission to let it go. Let them go. and give myself a new mindset, a mindset of peace and joy and empowerment. And I'm so strong and I'm proud of myself. Yeah. You have to make the shift. The shift isn't just going to happen to you. If you've been miserable for such a long time, it's hard to start turning, but eventually it will align. It's the things that you say to yourself, it's the self talk, it's the healing, it's the forgiveness, it's all of the things that you say to yourself. I'm proud of me. I'm doing a great job. I give myself the permission to let go and let them go. And then bring in, open up the door. Even sometimes when I start thinking crazy stuff, I'll open up the door and I'll say, negativity, get out of here. In this space, there will be peace. In this space, there will be joy because I choose it. It is my portion and it is your portion. Mm-hmm. Start saying that to yourself and watch your life shift. Speak positive things over your life. I'm intelligent. I'm happy. I'm healthy. And it will come to you. A lot of people think that you're just one day going to automatically have this amazing life. You get out of this life what you are. You get out of this life what you are. If you're vibrating in a higher space, guess what? Empowerment, laughter, peace. It's going to be yours. Yeah. Nothing but positive vibes, Delvin. Nothing but positive vibes. See, shift your mindset and you shift your life. No expectations about from other people. The only thing that you can expect in this life is for people to be who they are. The only thing that you can expect from yourself is to forgive yourself and to be compassionate and patient with yourself and take care of me. Learn to pause. Stop taking care of everybody and start taking care of you. Take care of you. Start healing your heart. Start unpacking the negatives. Hey, realist, how are you doing? Happy Wednesday. Start unpacking all of that negatives. Unpack it. Say, you've been here for far too long. I had to start writing out. I took a journal and says, I give you your freedom papers. Time for you to walk. Because you got to get out of here. You don't belong here. You don't belong here anymore. Negativity, you gotta go. Self doubt, you gotta go. Anger, you gotta go. Manipulators, gotta go. Because this is about your life. Hi, Paul. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. And if you guys are new here, feel free to subscribe to the channel, hit the like, and check out my other content. Also, check out my other awesome content creators that have channels here, Realist and Delvin, and also Nate, Chill Will Crew, Boss Life Online. I got a lot of amazing people that I support, and they have great content. So check them out. And I just want to say to you guys, you got to love yourself. It's not anybody else's job. I wish that I knew years ago that it's not anybody else's job to make me happy. It's not. It's not anybody else's responsibility to make you happy. It's nobody else's job or responsibility for you to have peace. You have to make the choice. I have to make the choice. And I choose peace. I choose me. I choose joy. I choose light. I choose healing. I choose forgiveness. I choose to love myself. Mm. May peace be with you all. Okay? May peace be unto you. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support. I appreciate you guys. And like the title said, Today, they let you down. Time to live for yourself. Okay? Paul says you'll never find happiness until you're happy inside. You won't. And I want you, and everybody in the back, everybody on the replay. I want you to find your own peace. Not the peace that other people want to give you, but the peace that you want. Search for it. It will be found. If you want it, you will get it. Okay? I wish you all a happy healing journey, like I always say over here. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Blessings. I appreciate every single one of you. Let me get to all my downloads. I spent a lifetime hiding in the grave with a heavy heart and nothing left to say. Battling shadows, walking in the rhythm of the life I didn't choose. From the silent cries and the darkest nights to the moments I almost gave up the fight, I was lost in the echoes of a hollow sound, searching for a solid piece of ground. But I'm love, Marlene, and I'm standing tall. I'm living proof that you can survive it all. From the 411 to the depths of my soul, I'm taking back the pieces, making them whole. It's a journey of healing, a path to the light. I'm breaking every curse and winning the fight. From my heart to yours, let the healing start. We're making peace with the past and broken parts. It's more than just a story. It's a brand new land, seeing where the trauma stops and where the light begins. Breaking generational chains, link by link, learning how to feel, learning how to think, guarding my spirit, my mind, and my peace. Watching the anxiety and the tension release. I found a self-love that was always meant to be. A gift from God, now living in me. No more worthlessness, no more shame. I'm calling out the joy and I'm calling it by name. I am conscious of the seeds we sow. Watch how the garden starts to grow. But I love my leaves, and I'm standing tall. I'm living proof that you can survive it all. From the 411 to the depths of my soul, I'm taking back the pieces, making them whole. It's a journey of healing, a path to the light. I'm breaking every curse and winning the fight. From my heart to yours, let the healing start. I'm making peace with the past and broken parts. Spread the love, spread the light, live your best life. Hold on tight. I'm love, Marlene, for Marlene. The journey has just begun. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys back on Sunday. I'll see you guys back tomorrow for the sip and chat. See you guys then. This is Love Marlene 411. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to the channel members. Join my channel membership. It starts at 99 cents for member only perks. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Have a great rest of your evening and happy healing journey.